The caption says 40-year-old woman goes viral after deciding to launch her rap career. 40-year-old rapper goes viral after launching music career. Point of view, you just turned 40 and you decided to pursue your career in rap. Listen, in this day and age, I done seen it all, man. Nothing really surprises me, so.
Bow, 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 bow. And you know that I'm up now. Stay down, then come up. Put my wrist up, a sound IP. Look at my wrist. Bow, 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 bow.
Ma'am, you waited 40 years and this all you got? This is what we came with? She done procrastinated this for 40 years. And this was the finished product. This was the actualization of that. Does she really think that this is going to be on the radio? Like, does she really think people are going to be singing along to this? No self-awareness today, I swear. Listen to this.
Bow, 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 bow. And you know that I'm up now. Stay down, then come up. Put my wrist up, a sound IP. Look at my wrist.
Like, she really think people gonna be singing along? Bow, 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 bow. Like, ma'am, you sound like Blues Clues. What in the hell? Let's move on, man. Y'all, before we do though, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And it's really just a click. Really just a click. So if you're here anyway, you might as well click that like button. And also, if you can hype the video as well.
Here's how I went broke chasing clout on the internet. It all started after I turned down my record deal offer from Atlantic Records after my song New February went viral on TikTok. As opposed to taking the $5,000 label advance, I decided to seek my own financing via a self-help credit union to get $6,000 to finance.
Dang. Is that how record labels are doing it now? Are they? I guess that would be a smart strategy. And by smart strategy, I'm saying to take a more volume-based approach when it comes to looking for talent. And by volume-based approach, because you used to be able to, as a rapper, get advances for hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, $1 million. But now things are so oversaturated. Everybody wants to be a rapper. So much music. Music can come to you fast. Distribution isn't a thing anymore, as far as that being a gatekeeper that will prevent people from being able to make music. And now even you can make music on your phone. So anybody can ultimately start making music. And so what it seems like is now, if they offered him $5,000 as an advance, basically, keep this in mind. They basically offered him $5,000 most likely to sell his soul and for them to basically own him. And so they must try to catch people super early on who have a little bit of a pop and try to catch them so early and just hedge against it and just say, well, just in case something ever happens, we own him. And so we can own that success. And they probably don't even put much into you. They probably just give you that money and just say, just keep doing what you're doing. And they just keep you in the portfolio just in case something ever pops off. That's how that's how they're doing business now. They've adapted their business model, apparently. And I think that's pretty crazy, but
$1,000 label advance, I decided to seek my own financing via a self-help credit union to get $6,000 to finance my label. I then used said financing to appear on popular hip-hop platforms such as No Jumper, Off the Porch with 30 Glove Bastard, as well as DJ Small's Eyes. The No Jumper collaboration cost me $2,200. It would have been $1,500, but I wanted it to be a collab post on my Instagram, which I saw they didn't do with other.
oh, that's what he means when he said try to pay for clout. He's paying platforms basically to be able to get visibility, even though he doesn't have anybody that really knows him. So when he did it, as you saw, I don't know if you saw those views, the views weren't good because it didn't matter what platform. And if anything, as well, those platforms were devaluing themselves, but they just decided, shoot, I'll take the cold hard cash. And I can't say that that was a bad move if you can just get some free money that quick like that. But in his case, it ultimately didn't help him whatsoever, from what it appears.
On my Instagram, which I saw they didn't do with other artists. So I decided to pay the extra upcharge for that. So it ended up being $2,200 total. The Off the Porch interview cost me another $1,500. And since by this time I was already going viral and had appeared on multiple other platforms, I was able to get the DJ Small's Eyes appearance for a discounted rate of $800. Not to mention, all the while this is happening, I purchased a billboard to promote my album Unk, which cost me about $5,500 for a 3-month
What are
campaign.
you doing,
And this
dude?
is after I had to hackle him down on the price, about $1,000, due to the limited visibility of the billboard, in my opinion. But we had a rapport from previous purchases, so he was able to take that offer. Once you include travel costs and previous campaigns that I had run in the past to build momentum up until this point, I ended up spending around $30,000 that I didn't have to further my music career, which didn't really do much. I realized that going on platforms that have big followings without having your own following doesn't really do much for you.
Right.
But in a bit of poetic irony, I had posted my adventures with spending money.
This dude is just blowing money for no reason. And it appears he was going into debt for this money to begin with. What an idiot. What an idiot. I'm not trying to be cruel, but honestly, at this point, for one, you putting yourself on billboards, nobody knows you. You'd have been better off just directly spending that $30,000 in direct marketing dollars for your album or whatever, or for your music. And at least you would have got the views, and you probably even would have got some money back in AdSense for your music. And the great thing about music is if people like your music, they'll play it more than once, right? Typically, if you guys watch one of my videos on YouTube, you're only gonna watch it one time and then you wait for the next video. If you're a music artist, when people really like your song, they're gonna listen to it. It's gonna have a very good lifetime value. And shoot, you put one ad on it just at the beginning or whatever, you're that's gonna be recurring AdSense revenue. Imagine how exponential and infinite that could be, even with less people. So you would have still probably, over the course of your life, recouped your $30,000 if you'd have actually just marketed your song directly, just posted on YouTube, and then that would have, if you would have had your links on the video, then you also would have gotten, you know, some spread as well onto probably some of your other platforms where some people would have came from this platform and still followed you on other things as well. So all the stuff he was doing, he just basically threw money down the drain. He threw money down the drain. And yeah, I don't understand his business strategy whatsoever.
My adventures with spending money to promote my career, which ended up going viral across multiple platforms like Say Cheese. Once this happened, around 8,000 strangers told me that I should quit on my music career, but I've never been one to give in to the demands of the peanut gallery. Moving forward this year, I plan to release more music, but in terms of the marketing strategy, I'm going to take a much more grassroots, organic approach as to relying on spending money on external platforms. So if you would like to support, you could go to my website, saintuno.com, where you can purchase one of my merchandise hoodies or just play my music. Much appreciated. Here's how I went broke.
See, and if he'd have directly just marketed his own channel or whatever, he probably would have even had a little bit of merchandise sales, which, keep in mind, this means you can this gives you a direct way to actually recoup some of that money that you spent. And then you can even move it forward and continue your growth and continue to scale in certain ways. Not, but it's also going to depend on the quality of whatever it is. You got to keep your main thing your main thing. So you're putting these marketing dollars into your song. You want to make sure that it's good once people get over there. And then if it is good, he said he went viral. If it is good, then it will trickle into all those other things, like I said. And now you're in business. Especially you had 30 grand to work with. And you'd have been able to find out quicker if your song was good. So then you probably could have even cut off the faucet before you just exhausted the whole 30 grand. Let's just say, for example, you start marketing $250 into the song. You see that it's not doing well. You can stop it right there and you could just say, okay, this is an indication. It done marketed this song to 100,000 people and only 5 people liked it. So this just isn't a good song. And now you can spread this out across multiple songs and you can actually see which song actually is the song instead of you just trying to rely on whatever your taste is or whatever your musical ear is. And you can actually get closer to what the market actually appreciates. And then once you find that out on a small scale, then you can push everything into that. And then it will, like I said, start trickling and funneling into your other endeavors and maybe even into some AdSense revenue and ultimately into your exposure.
Men who ain't got no job always got a rap career. And they suck at rapping at that. Like, they swear they know how to rap. Ain't that right?
I do know how to rap.
You don't.
I rap your ass up like a mommy. What's up?
You suck at rapping. Go ahead, spit some. Spit some.
What you want me to spit?
Anything.
You want me to spit in your mouth?
This is why.
What's up with these dudes, man? I swear.
Oh, what the fuck is it about niggas wanting to be rappers so fucking bad? I give a nigga my number, which I don't really do because I'm not really interested in dating nobody or nothing like that, but I just did it. He seemed like a gentleman. Cool. Gave him my number. We on the phone. This literally just happened. We on the phone or whatever. The conversation's going well. It's so crazy how a smile could get turned upside down so fucking quick when it comes to these niggas. Like, literally, he's like, yeah, I'm in school for nursing. But I want to be a rapper. You get what I'm saying? Because what the fuck do you mean you in school for nursing, but you want to be a rapper? And he was dead serious. I'm being in denial in my head. I'm ignoring it because I'm like, I hope this nigga not serious about wanting to be a rapper. Like, just stay in school is fine. You get what I'm saying? So I just keep asking him questions about school. I'm not asking no questions about rapping because, ew, like, I hope you're playing. I'm in a point.
This is why self-awareness is important, because she looked at him objectively and he's talking about being a rapper. Obviously, whatever his traits was, whatever his characteristics are, she's like, no. And so she's already knowing, like, this is a waste of time. And if I continue to see you moving forward, I'm going to know you're wasting your time in something that you could be using it to be getting ahead somewhere else. I'm guessing that's the mindset when it comes to it.
Him questions about school. I'm not asking no questions about rapping because, ew, like, I hope you're playing. I'm in a point in time in my life where I can't relate to no rapper. I don't want no future with no rapper, nothing like that. I don't like the lifestyle that they portray or that they live, none of that shit. I am in school for, a field in healthcare, so I think that's decent. We can relate to that. So let's talk about that. The nigga like, yeah, I was in the studio, I made a song,
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest. The way you talk, I think you probably fit right along with a rapper. Because even when you're referring to the guy, you're like, these niggas. And it's like, man. And then you cuss a lot, and I see the hand tattoos. It's like, you talking like the rapper? Why you can't just call a man a man? Why we gotta be ninjas? And then why you have to cuss so much? That's what I don't understand. I'd be looking at you completely different if you didn't open your mouth and make that the first impression. You'd be in a whole different portfolio. But as soon as you start running your mouth and cussing and you calling people ninjas, now we have to file you over here with the rest of them who should be groupies for rappers, in my opinion.
I had my class listen. The class listened to it. They said it was ass. I'm thinking he joking or whatever. I'm hoping that he's joking. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna send you a snippet. He sends me the snippet, but it was so late and we were getting tired that I didn't listen to it that night. We ended up finishing off the conversation and we went to sleep or whatever. And then
He sent her a snippet. Oh man. He sent her a snippet. Bow, 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 bow.
next morning, this nigga texted me, good morning, how'd you sleep? Did you listen to the snippet that I sent?
You listen, he gonna
So
follow
at that point,
up.
I knew he was dead ass serious, because why are you reminding me? You're dead serious. You want my opinion on this. Cool. Y'all, I clicked that snippet. It was fucking terrible. Bitch, it felt like I was listening to a fucking Dr. Seuss audiobook. Green eggs and ham. My fucking 6-year-old son could have did better than that. The beat wasn't even nothing crazy. Like, it just was terrible. So he said, did you hear my little snippet, LOL? I said, I did. Let's stay in school, King. The world needs more nurses. And then continue.
She don't like this dude at all. She wasn't feeling him at all. Wow. Yeah, she wasn't feeling him at all. To just blatantly, just boldly say that. I'm gonna be real, that's what he needed to hear. If it's not good, he really does need more people to tell him that it's just not good. But dang, she wasn't finna speak no life into him at all. But that's what he needed to hear. She did the right thing at the end of the day.
LOL. I said, I did. Let's stay in school, King. The world needs more nurses. And then continued to, answer the question. He said, how'd you sleep? Like, what is it about rapping that niggas just want to be it so fucking bad? I feel like the same way women be seeing girls in the industry or like rapper baby moms and all types of shit post certain things and portray a certain lifestyle or live a certain lifestyle. I feel like niggas be wanting that shit too. But everything that glitters is not gold. You are looking at these niggas with a bunch of bitches, a bunch of money, a bunch of chains and jewelry, and their proximity to other rappers and shit like that, and just the lifestyle that they live. And I feel like y'all want that. Or maybe y'all feel like it be a lot of people that make dumbass music and all it takes.
Ma'am, stop it. Ma'am, stop it. She's talking about, what is it about rappers that y'all want to be rappers so bad? A lot of y'all like rappers and whatever. That's like saying, what is it about rug dealers where y'all like rug dealers so bad? Y'all want to be rug dealers so bad. That's who y'all date. That's who y'all like. That's who y'all really do like and give everything to. Meanwhile, it could be a rug dealer. She won't tell him like it is and be like, stop selling rugs, King. Get a real job. She won't do that. But he want to be a rapper. She's like, yeah, the world needs more nurses, King. That's why. It's like, and it's the truth. And I'm gonna be honest. Good women aren't gonna be really into that. But man, just good. Anything good today is hard to find. Is rare. Anything good on either side today is hard to find. But ultimately, what it comes down to is, no matter what state and time we've ever been in, y'all have always liked bad boys just at the end of the day. So whatever that looks like within the context of the world at the time, whether it's the person driving on a motorcycle with a motorcycle vest, whether it's rappers now rug dealers, whatever. Y'all like bad boys. I've never seen dudes in prison. I've seen them hurting for jobs. I've seen them hurting for money. I've seen them hurting for a stable home and a stable roof over their head. But I've never seen them hurting for a woman. I've never seen dudes in prison who literally don't have their freedom and won't be getting it for years. I've never seen them hurting for a female. So that kind of tells you everything you need to know. The only difference here is that you saw that guy and he didn't actually fit the image. So he aspired to be something, but he didn't actually fit that mold, and you could tell. And so that may be why you're not interested. But if he actually fit that archetype and you believed it, then it may be a whole nother story right here.
Maybe y'all feel like it be a lot of people that make dumbass music and all it takes to really make it for real these days is for a viral TikTok dance to be paired with a nigga song and then you take off. Like, so I understand, like, niggas is just, they probably want quick money or a quick come up or whatever, but what the fuck is wrong with just going to school and getting a career? I personally think, depending on the career, you could be making more than a fucking rapper. Them rappers don't really have financial freedom for real. They don't. They be owned by their fucking record labels. That be the record labels' monies and cars and all that shit. They gotta pay all that shit back. So it's just like, what is it like that you niggas be so fascinated about being a fucking rapper with? Like, what is it? And I think we really need to start being honest with more people. Like,
why are everybody trying to be a rap star? I was with my brother T.I. And Killer Mike this week. Fantastic. They'll be at the Hope Global Forum speaking. They're amazing. But you know who they are because there's only one of them. There's only one of them, and there's 40 million black people. And more of that number of Latinos. So what are you doing? Like, go get yourself a career. Let me tell you about people say, oh, I'm not going to marry somebody unless they make six figures. What do you think that you're going to pull that person out from? The sky, from Mars, where these hypersonic jets are going to be flying to? Well, you got to wait for 20 years for that, right? Because only 6% of black people make $100,000 a year. So what are you talking about? But let me tell you who makes $100,000 a year. An engineer. Hello, drop the mic. That's making smart sexy. That's right. An engineer makes between, well, basically average of $100,000 a year to make it really simple, right? And you and I were going to broke as an engineer. You know what percentage of African Americans are engineers? 3%. 3%. But we're running around trying to be whatever, wherever, trying to floss, it's right in front of you. If you don't have a financial literacy lesson and a technology lesson coming out of high school, I don't know what you're going to do. And if you're middle-aged right now, reinvent yourself and go double down in these areas. By the way, don't feel bad if you're middle-aged because most millionaires become that way in their 50s. So it is not too late, and you're living longer if you're taking care of yourself. So you'll live to 80. So you still have a half life left if you're 40 years old. So it's never too late to reinvent yourself. But there's only 3% of all engineers that are black. The Klan's not keeping you from being an engineer. Politics are not stepping in your way from joining this program. There were not one minority person I saw in that video about hypersonic travel being done at.
Yeah, and another thing, people want to be millionaires in their 20s. And I like the fact that he mentioned, a lot of people don't become millionaires till they're 50. And you could definitely cut that if you actually do focus on your career in your 20s, as opposed to a lot of people have to start trying to figure it out in like their mid 30s. But if you actually hammer down and you focus on being sustainable, man, you could live a great life in your mid 30s, early 40s. And you could just be starting life to where it's like, man, you probably not going to be able to believe how good life is. It's not going to feel right. It's not going to feel fair. And you can have a certain level of peace, and you'll be hitting your stride probably in your career, which it'll start to make that turn. And by turn, I'm referring to where you've done all the grunt work. You've put your skin in the game. And so now things are getting a lot smoother for you. Your day, your lifestyle, your job quality, the way you're treated, you know people, things can really turn around. But you have to set things into place. And I think we just a lot of times think too short term. We think too short term instead of understanding the long term picture and what life could look like in the long term. And then just still being present in the moment to appreciate these times now and the good things about these times, but also be setting in our foundation in place to make sure that we're ready and well positioned once we hit certain ages.
The reason why us black people want to be, basketball players and rappers, 'cause that's all we see, man. I ain't never seen a doctor walking down the street. Y'all ever see a white coat walking down the street?
I did see pharmacists.
I'm just saying, I know they doctors.
But there's a lot of real.
But had
I
that
said
check, we
pharmacist.
finna do something. We want to be those things because that's what we see, man. It ain't that that's all we think about doing. That's the only thing that's gonna get us millions of dollars. You can't name 4 occupations that's gonna get you millions.
Now that kids in this generation have access to know there are different things and different ways to make money, why do they still relapse on, I can't make it out and this all I can do?
I'm gonna tell you why. Because guess what? They just seen Jalen Brown get $305 million, and I ain't gotta do them shoot a ball to get it.
Hey, man.
And I can do it, and it's fun already for me. I ain't got to go to school 8 years to get the type of money. The head doctor and the I got to do 14 years. By the time I get that, I ain't lit no more. I'm 32.
See?
What's the problem?
I told you they wanted young. They feel like they got to be 20 and be lit or whatever. You got to have it in your 20s. We just don't have a long-term view. It's still going to be a lot of life left because a lot of people hit 30 and then they're like, dang, there's still so much to do. But you don't got nothing. You at 30, at 35, at 40, and you're at 0. And it's like you still got to hustle and bustle just to try to, whereas had you done the right things, you could be well poised and well positioned in that current circumstance. And now you can really start making moves. So I think that just highlighted my main point as far as people just want to get it while they're young. They just want it while they're young. And they don't want to see the bigger picture.
I hear people say all the time, 40-year-old rappers should stop rapping. How do you feel when you hear people say that?
Who gonna give y'all the real? Who gonna give y'all knowledge? Who gonna drop gems? Who gonna keep the culture like it's not so much gatekeeping, but it's keeping it pure, right?
Here's the thing. And we'll wrap it up with this. There are some rappers who are 50 that are great. And that, yeah, you're right. You want to continue following them. You want to continue to see the evolution. I don't think that rapping should be a young man's sport. Like, it is a young man's sport, but at the same time, I think there still is a place for older rappers. But it's a difference. A rapper who had success when they were young and then who continues to mature and evolve through rap. And yeah, we still want to hear them, and we still want to hear how their music ages, and it's probably going to age like fine wine if they keep honing their craft. But in some people's situation, it's different because you've been trying to be a rapper for your whole life, and now you're 50. Listen, man, if you do anything for for 30 years and you giving it your all and it's not popping off, that is called an indicator, and that is an indication that you are not good. So by the time you just weren't naturally, you just naturally don't have an affinity for it for whatever reason. So what that means is by the time you turn 50, after 30 years, you probably all right now, which isn't good enough. That means you started off and you sucked. And you just did it long enough to where now you're all right. But if someone already had success, then that means that they were like probably really good at it. And so, yeah, we can keep listening to them throughout history. But yeah, some of y'all, if y'all ain't never had no success, if it's never popped off, then yeah, you need to hang it up. You need to move on to something else. And that's just a principle. Drop what's not working, move on to something else. It's just not meant for you. And that's okay. But that's where the self-awareness again comes into play. Like First, bow, 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 girl. It's going to take too long. She would need about 3 lifetimes to become who she thinks she is. Right? So you're going to have to move on to something else. Y'all, we'll leave it there for today. If you can like the video, I greatly appreciate it. It only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you can hype the video, hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button and it shows the points. And since I am a smaller creator, a smaller channel, we actually get more points per hype. And hype was designed for smaller channels. So that's why. But if you come across a video and you don't see the hype button, then it's probably been over 7 days. And hype usually vanishes after 7 days. So it's usually best practice if you want to hype to just go ahead and hype while the iron is hot on a newer video. And also, if you want to become a member of the channel as well, join buttons on the video. And what becoming a member of the DXU family will come with is you will get badges next to your comments where it will show people that you are a member whenever you leave a comment, as well as you would get early access to content and also exclusive content that's not available for everyone else on YouTube. So again, if you want to become a member, join buttons on the video. But until then, I'll see you in the next video.